Very sorry to cut you off, but because I want to take you to the question, and then you could have your say over there. I apologize again, Stam. Your subject is so intense that this whole session is not enough. Also the other disciplines here. So what I'm going to do, just for the sake of time, I'm not going to take any questions from the floor. You can talk over the coffee. But we want to take, sort of, when I ask question, if you feel you want to jump in, make your say as far as that subject is concerned, and then we make it more dynamic. So what do we have here? It's very interesting. So we have, at the end, technology providers, that's Wärtsilä, and the coating side. As well, we have the insurance, and then the bunkering. As well, we have the registry, we have ship owners. Yes, you also from the insurance side. And then, of course, most important is the security. If you put them as, let's say, what is affecting the industry, everything starts from risk. And then the risk actually drives everything else, whether it is risk of the climate change or the latest of what we are living is this geopolitics and what's happening and what Catherine was touching on. And I will start with her as a question. Then I want to see how it's from the ship owner side, how you are then sort of managing your business, and then the bunkering process and how it is sort of adding into the, how can I say, the solutions and the way forward. Piracy reporting. Catherine, piracy reporting. What's the latest trends? You shared so many maps of the world, the activity of hostility and what's happening, etc. But your thoughts on this, what are the latest? What you are seeing from what you are showing on the map there?
You're absolutely right that risk and regulations are the biggest and the strongest motivators in order to start implement certain initiatives into the operative system of any company, number one. Number two, at the moment we can see that there are certain things that are so much involving geopolitics that not much can be done even on the regulative basis. So we have to take alternative measures in order to avoid any sort of threat and risk. And even though that does impact and the emissions and the economy, and also it does impact, as I have mentioned, Egypt's economy.
But you touched base on data. You talked about data. So where is this becoming? Because this is new.
This is actually the intelligence system that we have worked on quite deeply from 2017. It's an extremely sophisticated system as is based on the worldwide data that we collect from different sources. And for example, just a short example, like UKMTO and MSGA, they do give the reports basis all the alerts and incidents that are happening out there. The reports that we give are extremely detailed and taken from the confidential sources that are reliable, together with the other intelligence sources that can give you a very clear picture of what's going basis the geoscope of your transit.
So then this I will take it to the ship owners here. Ali, also Maria, you know, again, the word collaboration have been brought into this discussion, and how useful is that engaging with that kind of information, because there's a lot of disruption for your operation. So how are you seeing this? Another way, the emerging data availability of piracy helping you in running your business.
Well, I don't think it's something that ship owners will have a high exposure to it, because it's a data that's important for the service provider rather than the ship owner themselves. So what we do is, as ship owners, we rely on the information available in the market through the service providers. So we do receive risk analysis, we do receive reports on a regular basis on the safety and security, situations in any particular area.
In your presentation, sorry to cut you here.
Sure.
In your presentation, you talked about market moods.
Yeah.
You talked about opportunities.
Yes.
So of course, when data as such coming, you could see where the market is going, where the trade routes are happening, and that's creating opportunities for you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, data as such is of course very important. It's the number one priority for any decision making and insights and so on and so forth. But if I was going to refer to the data related to the security or the safety situations across the globe, then it's a particular area. But in general, yes, I mean, data is a key. Making insights, making analysis.
Anybody wants to jump in, please jump in, okay? Maria.
Yeah, aside from that, but first off, as a ship owner, right, our priority is the safety of our crew. So security, data security is very, very important for us. It's a very dynamic data, as you see. Like now, we say that, yeah, we can go on this trade, and the next hour say no. And then, of course, it's a very challenging for the ship owners, because we have to work hand in hand not only with the security but with our commercial partners as well, right? But the bottom line here is that we have to ensure that we are trading the vessel in a safe passage, because we have our people there.
Thank you. But then when it comes into the other area of the industry, now not just on the security side, but there is a lot of data has been made available for you really to somehow develop and evolve your business. And I will go to Captain Savraj. I want to pronounce your name correctly, please.
I fully agree with you. I think the crew is the most important element, and the P&I clubs are working hand in hand with the ship owners. We provide all the information, database, the security services which are available, the areas which are not considered safe, or what, because a ship owner also has to realize it can run foul on the hazardous trading if knowingly they are taking those extra risks. But as I said in my presentation also, the most important ingredient, the most crucial thing is our crew, and we have to protect them under all circumstances.
Deepak?
Yeah, I mean, data, without data you can't make decisions. And as I said about our fuel trust side, the carbon intensity factor. All the ship owners at the moment are overstating the amount of CO2 you're emitting, because 1 ton of fuel doesn't give 3.14 multiple of CO2. So you're not 3.114 amount of carbon you're emitting. It's less than that, because your ship is not fully efficient on the engine. 1 ton of bunker, there's at least 1.5% of water. So straight away you see you're paying too much for your CO2, and you're reporting too much, and we as an industry are reporting too much in that regard. All right, so data is important.
You know, nations are sort of placed based on their patent registration. Like you find the higher the number, the patent registration happening, that's an indication of how that nation is really, where they are placed as far as industries are concerned. I was amazed with Maria's presentation and where you showed, you know, your partnership and, you know, when it comes into the ESG subject. So your members and partnership with so many, and of course there are a lot of areas where you are doing a lot of work, and that's, you know, goes into the collaboration. So therefore I'm going to ask this question to everybody, and I'm going to walk back and, you know, from STAM, when it comes into your area of the business, how collaboration is happening. And please, 10 seconds.
Wow, this is a question that you can talk about in the whole panel, of course. But I will focus on the new types of collaboration that we have. For example, as I mentioned earlier, we have to start collaborating more with yards when it comes to these large retrofits. We also see that for these multi-million investments when it comes to these large retrofits. You cannot only sit on the table with the owners. You need to bring all the stakeholders on the table because they benefit in different ways. And this is I believe, a different way we need to start doing business and making these business decisions.
Captain Anur?
Yeah. I think it was in morning session, it was very well said and addressed that there is no single solution on this, the sustainable business. There are a lot of dimensions on it. So we are taking advantage of what we are good at this. We are just looking at our backyard. We are manufacturing coating, we are good at this. So how we can contribute to our customer space on this. So, and we are enabling them to save significant amount of fuel, carbon reduction by just selecting the right coating.
Okay, that's good. Deepak?
As you see, I have a lot of hats, so I collaborate with over 100 funders. We collaborate with those companies in which we are shareholders.
But
and
that makes you an
directly-
opportunity, Deepak. And that's where you need actually to bring as a value creation into this. Then I go to Sandra.
Well, we don't have partnerships yet, but as an emerging bunkering company, our partners are really our clients. And we are really trying at the moment to advise them as best and to train our staff to diversing and to going into these new engines.
And you are at the right place really to do this. Catherine?
We collaborate with multiple maritime stakeholders, and extremely important are the coalition forces. One of the examples, when one of our clients' vessels was hit by 3 missiles, immediately NATO forces have evacuated the security operators together with the crew and provided first medical aid. So collaboration is playing a pivotal role in any business.
Maria?
Yeah, I think I have already summed up with our collaborations, but one thing I have to highlight here is because for us is the collaboration with our seafarers. We have to start from the very beginning, from their cadetships, from their schools. So I think that is the most important part, because we have to play a vital role as an owners, right? To continuously educate them and train our people. We all have this fantastic equipment on board our ships, all these legislations, what we have to follow. But we have to remember, these are the people that are running our ships.
Captain Savraj?
Yeah, as I summed up, we've got websites with member stories and collaboration with various industry experts. But most important is that in 2050, if a master is at the age of 35, he's just about, whatever you can say, 10, 15 years of age. So the training has to start from the school level, universities. Let's not forget that we can have the best technology. Without the crew, it's of no use.
Thank you. Captain Amarjit?
See, for a registry to be effective, collaboration with every aspect of the industry is so important. Without that, whether it is training or whether it is technology or you take any aspect, an insurance or bunkering or any aspect, if we do not collaborate with all parts, there's going to be no effectiveness. We're not able to achieve anything. We're not able to support anyone. So collaboration is very important. When we move forward, every aspect has to be taken into consideration.
Ali?
Yeah, I think we don't add any more. Collaboration is just the way forward, and we need to foster the environment for it.
That's why I mentioned earlier about patenting and registration of patenting. For an organization, if they do not have, just humble opinion, if you do not have a list of existing collaborations in the form of joint industry projects, joint industry or development projects, or kind of a membership in active role, then you're really not going to be in the leading paragraph. You're going to be below that. But it all starts with leadership, and I will conclude here. I thank our esteemed speakers. Trevor, don't look at me like this. If there is any questions, we will do it over the... I take 2 questions? Okay. We take 2 questions from the floor. Any questions?
Thank you, Ali. First of all, huge round of applause for all.
Very difficult, 9 people. How this But we managed at the end.
My question is to Captain Maria, if I may, please. And before I begin my question, congratulations once again on winning the Women in Shipping Award last night. My question to you is, obviously you're a huge advocate and a role model for women in shipping. In the unique position that you are in, you've got this oversight and a very holistic view of the ecosystem. So how do you think the role of women will evolve in the ESG and sustainability ecosystem in shipping? And what more do you think needs to be done, both from the company as well as the employee side? Both obviously need to contribute to this equation. What are your thoughts on that?
Thank you, Leroy. I'd like to address this question, not just only women, because I have discussed that about the dive, right? It's all about belongingness. Gender should not be a factor. Of course, now we're giving more and more opportunity for women. It's a matter of acceptance. As like what I've said, we need to diversify. We need to include everyone. We need to have equity in our organization. And once we have combined and achieved those, it becomes a belongingness. So each one of us, doesn't matter which gender, what culture we have been on, we have to play a vital role, right, to our goals and to have not just only with the ESG, but the main goal here is about sustainability in shipping. So everyone, it should be a part, regardless of gender. And it starts once again by acceptance and giving that belongingness to individual.
Maria, sustainability means endurance. It means long-lasting, right?
Yes.
And I agree with you. But when it comes into the gender subject, it's very simple. When it comes into life-saving, doesn't matter who's going to save you, it's okay. So that's actually the closest which to bring a thought of a person on board in order for him to understand. Next question.
Thank you for an inspiring panel discussion and very lively, even though in the afternoon. What are the most effective drivers for accelerating the decarbonization pathway towards net zero, other than the obvious push by regulators and industry self-governance initiatives such as Poseidon Principles?
To who the question?
To anybody brave enough to take it on.
Yeah. I will start. Absence of a strategy is a failure. Meaning, you look today at your company, you have a decarb strategy, yes, then look there. Do you have a target per year? I'm going to reduce my total emission by 2% year by year because 2027 or 2030 is very close. If you don't have that, again, like what Dr. Sultan Al-Jaber said few days ago at the beginning of opening ceremony of EDIBEC 2024, he said, train is already on its way. If you're not going to lead, you're going to be behind. That's my opinion.
It's very simple. Just use Flores. Just net off your carbon. There are hundreds of projects out there. You're doing your bit in the company. Just net it off. Simple.
Clear. Anybody else?
I can also chip in, I think, here, because we see that I think we should learn from other industries, like the aviation industry, how they're doing it, how they're pushing this cost to the end customers. And we see it also in the maritime industry, on the container ship segment, where they have a much more direct access to cargo owners and consumers. This cost can be passed along. So the question is, how do we do this as for all the other segments?
Yeah. Stam, I remembered I had a question for you. A fantastic video you showed about the new engine design, right? And then the different technologies, right? What's ready?
Ready is what you saw in the first animation.
Let's say first ready, second ready, and what's coming.
All these efficiency upgrades that I showed, all these dark bubbles are ready. Anyway, we're following the industry, and the industry is focusing now on improving the efficiency of the existing fleet, first of all, because this is something you can bank on. No matter what fuel you're burning, efficiency is there. We will have the first fuel conversion projects in 2027.
Thank you very much for listening.